Hey, buddy. How's it going there? I'm in the morning to be NBC. Nah, it's midnight session after dark. What's going on? Friday night, weekend, party town. I'm, of course, your narrator speakers, Robot Shlomo. With me, as always, is Tom Connors.
Leave me alone eating.
And, of course, with us, as always, your favorite YouTube RP.
They hurt the tribbles. They hurt the tribbles.
They didn't really.
If not for them, the tribbles would never have existed. We should be thanking them. It's like the bratty little sister wanting to play Star Trek with you, and they come in. And they come in for My Little Pony, and then they say, and then the My Little Pony created the universe.
All right, let's see. All right.
I'm getting angrier. The more I think about it, the more angry I get.
I don't blame you.
There's no way around it. Oh boy, where do we start with that one? It's not so much. You've apparently this is their MO. This is how you legitimize what you do, is you tie it back into the original canon and you make one change so that without your contribution, none of it can exist.
Well, before we get into that, because I didn't even watch the stupid thing and I don't plan on it, at least not anytime real soon. There is one quick announcement to make. There will be more on this in the coming hours and days, but our good friend Anas Abdeen has decided to appeal the judgment in the case over the tardigrades. We're working on a few things in the next couple hours to hopefully get that going because he needs our help. So I'm trying to get the address. Hopefully I'll have it before the end of the show. There's going to be a GoFundMe set up between Gary at Nerdrotic and myself and whoever else gets on board for this. We're going to probably do like some telethons this weekend to try and get some money together. We have to try and raise at least $5,000 within the next 48 hours. And then there's a higher goal after that. But the first part's just to get it started. Oh, Mr. Wolverine 007. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Ka-ching. Okay, well, this is the only time we're going to say this, but if you're going to say, should we say that if you're going to make super chats, save them this weekend when we get the GoFundMe up, and please, like I said, our good friend Anas Abdeen needs our help. Midnight's Edge has 123,000 subscribers. If only 10% of those subscribers gave $1, we could meet his goal and we could double it.
Well, that's just for the weekend. There's a much larger goal at hand, but we're shooting for this one first. Like basically, if we can't reach this goal, then yeah, we'll see where it goes from there. But yeah, let's get going on the news otherwise, because there will be more on this.
Max Mercer, the judiciary, corporations can buy judges, but the whole thing is that justice is supposedly blind. That's the thing. Judges are elected in a lot of jurisdictions.
So yeah, I mean, we'll have more on this. Gary has an announcement from Anas that I think he's planning on dropping a video tomorrow morning. I know he's going to be talking about it tonight on his show. We're talking about it now, of course. But as soon as I get that address, I'll bring it up to you guys, and we'll take it from there.
Yes, but this is an SOS, people. This is, like I said, this is an SOS. Anas needs our help. We'll have more information in the coming hours and days. But like I said, we are putting out the call. Ordinarily, it is time for the Fandom Menace to prove its to once again rally around a cause and a person who has been good to us and something worth fighting for. It's the bigger picture here. We can't let CBS get away with this. And unfortunately, Anas does not have the resources, so that's why we are picking up the baton, and we are going to drag him across the finish line with us.
I think I found it.
Found the address?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, can you put it up on the screen?
I am going to.
Okay, well, like I said, Midnight's Edge has 123,000 subscribers. If everyone gave a buck, that would be that would set him up nicely. But like I said, if only 10% of our subscribers gave a buck, that would be $12,000, which would meet our goal, our weekend goal in fine fashion. Like I said, you dig through the seat cushions on the couch, see what you can find. And like I said, Anas needs our help. There it is, www.gofundme.com /f/justice for Anas. Head over to that address. And yes, Mr. Miles Engineer, if you give a fuck, give a buck.
That's right.
Give a fuck. That's it. Give a fuck, give a buck. There you go. We have a catchphrase. Hashtag it. Hashtag it right now. Go over there, hashtag it. Circulate this on social media far and wide. Twitter, Facebook. Is there something else besides Twitter and Facebook these days? There's YouTube, but you know. Hashtag give a fuck.
I'm gonna tweet this out and let's retweet this. I'm gonna tag Ricada Law and all the people in the GoFundMe or in the GoFundMe for the Vic Mignogna stuff. So if we can get some traction with the I Stand with Vic crowd, because keep in mind, this comes back to more of the same stuff. I mean, CBS was crappy against fan films as well, and Vic Mignogna has done a lot for Star Trek fan films. He's actually currently working on a Star Trek project right now. He's a director of photography, so that's kind of breaking news if anybody cares what's going on with that. So I'm going to tweet this out, and please retweet this for everybody for the GoFundMe.
Yeah, we'll be keeping an eye on the GoFundMe as things go on. So like I said, give a fuck, give a buck. So I'm bringing it up myself so I can keep an eye on it. Okay, it was literally created 1 hour ago.
Yeah, Gary and I have been scrambling trying to get this going, so we're trying. Of course, he's got a crowd he's going to be talking to here in a bit. So, and I might there, but I don't know. We'll see.
Unless Ricada Law got banned off of Twitter again. Sometimes can't remember his Twitter handle. Crap.
Oh,
so,
I'll send it to DJ.
I'm gonna retweet this myself. Actually, give a fuck, give a buck. So, and as we said, we're gonna get the ball rolling here. Like I said, this is an SOS.
In the meantime, though, you two subjected yourself to the damn short trek, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
So why don't we start there? And then, Mecha, you had a little news yourself. So then we'll go into that.
Well, which one? We're tweeting right now. You're typing.
You're tweeting?
We're typing it out.
All right, you're done. There was another short trek, if anybody gives a shit. It had
no.
And what I saw of it, I pretty much didn't need to see anymore because I've already seen Critters. But yeah. You done?
I'm trying to find the tags of everybody.
Oh, you're tagging.
I took some notes. I took some notes. Okay.
So who?
I took some notes regarding this shark trick.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So apparently, H. John Benjamin is responsible for the Tribbles. Nobody on the Enterprise knew what a Tribble was until that classic episode, Trouble with Tribbles, in season 2. But H. John Benjamin, his scientist character Edward, and Alex Klutzman decided to tamper with nature and with the canon of the episode. Because they
individual joined us.
Hey, Matthew Kadish, what's going on?
Hey, everybody.
Short Trek.
I refuse to watch those.
There you go.
I saw the trailers, but the last round of Short Treks were just so bad that I was like, do I really want to waste my time?
I am a glutton of punishment. Fortunately, it was I watched it at an accelerated rate, so I was able to watch it in half the time. I cranked it up to 1.5 speed, and
I thought maybe you just took some Coke and then watched it.
No,
it's the only way.
But they deliberately made a point of saying that the Tribbles reproduce very slowly. And so how do they speed up the Tribbles' reproductive cycle? They injected with human DNA.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding. I wish I was. As if that would make a difference, because humans take 9 months to reproduce. You could have said rabbits. You could have said whatever. Some other rodent. Yeah, some other rodent or that reproduces in large numbers fairly quickly.
Bugs.
Yeah.
Gremlins, critters.
Benjamin plays a bumbling scientist. There you go, Rose. And I like Rosa Salazar.
Oh yeah. Well, did we find out if she was a lieutenant, or was she like lieutenant commander that went over to commander to be the captain of the?
She's wearing gold, and that shows you how smart they are. There was never really a gold shirt. It's green.
Well, yeah, it's green, but light.
Well, it's their 25% different uniforms, so we'll just call it that.
Well, the lighting and the film processing made it look gold.
And that's where JJ Trek really screwed up. But anyway, until the third film.
But Rosa Salazar takes command of this science vessel, and they're having a staff meeting. And H. John Benjamin plays the bumbling scientist, absent-minded scientist, who's very socially awkward. And I can't tell if they're doing a Reg Barkley here, or if they're saying, hey, Sheldon's a scientist. Why don't we make all scientist characters like Sheldon? Every character they're trying to make socially awkward. They're trying to make it into Sheldon Cooper.
Yeah, but this guy was just insane.
Yeah.
Like, it was just such bizarre behavior, so much to the point where if I saw somebody behaving the way he behaved, I would send him to sick bay. I would relieve him of duty. Like, what do you mean you ate them? What? Okay. Can you let's I'm new here. Maybe we'll go and send you to sick bay, and just for my curiosity.
It's an evaluation, yeah.
Yeah.
Have a psychiatric evaluation. But the idea they come up with was because the Tribbles are so small, they want to accelerate their reproductive cycle. And the reason for that is because he wants to use them as food.
For some planet. Right? So this planet, it's a colony, they're starving or whatever. Like, that's the last thing I would do is introduce some alien animal to some foreign planet to serve it up as livestock, whether it's, and she does ask, the first thing she asks is it sentient or is it intelligent or whatever?
Don't they eat an excessive amount too on top of that?
That's the thing. These fuckers start reproducing without eating anything. And anyone who's watched The Trouble with Tribbles knows the more you feed it, the more they reproduce.
Well, wait, isn't this a universe that has matter replication? So they could
yes. If there's people starving, why don't you send them replicators?
Exactly. Like, they're even standing right next to the damn thing. They even have a scene right next to the thing. Like, we wouldn't think.
It's like they have an unlimited supply of food, and with like one replicator, you could just donate one to the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Here, what do you want? Chicken sandwich? There you go. Come on. What do you want? Tuna sub? There you go.
Wasn't that what trying to fix when she came in? Dodge Graham, whatever the hell her name is, the lesbian.
Reno? No, she's not in this.
Yeah,
Take Nataro.
No. But wasn't that what she was trying to fix though when we first met her? Was she trying to fix her duplicator or whatever, replicator or whatever? To where
No, she was performing brain surgery on some alien.
Our fellow crew members.
What am I thinking of? I don't know.
Actually, Black Phoenix. No, they didn't say it tastes like
I'm
chicken.
thinking of the Jets. That's how fucking stupid this is.
Yeah, they said it tastes like scallops. He's like
scallop.
Yeah, he's like, oh no, they're all meat under there, like a scallop. Did you eat one? Maybe. Like what? He's I fed it to him. He's a foodie. He didn't like it, but I'm not a chef. You're eating these tribbles? Like they're I would say, oh, this is a cute furry thing. Let's eat it. No, I would.
Rats.
But still, I would keep it as a pet because it's cute. It's like an animal. You don't know if it's sentient or not. You're in Starfleet. You don't know if this is going to be like a Q or something. This might be a shape-shifting sentient being.
So about halfway through this abomination, Rosa Salazar's character has a sit down with H. John Benjamin. And
this is her second day.
Yeah, the second day. Yeah, and she's like, you know what? I really don't. You've been saying some things about me to the rest of the crew. He's been sending anonymous emails back to Starfleet saying that she sucks, that she's not good at her job. Oh yeah, I know it was you. I want you transferred. And they break into the argument sketch. I swear to God, they broke into the fucking argument sketch from Monty Python.
It was closer. It was a little close. It was a combination of that and the cat in and out of the bag scene in Ghostbusters 2016.
I didn't see it though.
Oh, I'm gonna make you fucking watch that.
I don't hate myself enough to watch it. Yeah, Black Phoenix. Yeah, they had food synthesizers on the original series. Yeah, they did. They didn't look as cool as the thing. There's a door open and there was a bowl of chicken soup.
Mm-hmm. Tribbles may taste good, but still, I mean, they're too cute to eat.
But that's not the point. That's not the point. Like, why would you need them as a food source?
See, that would be when I would think, okay, there's something wrong with this guy. You're out of your mind. I would have sent him to sick bay. But no, she's new. She's a lieutenant commanding a ship. Why not? Why not? Give him a day, and she did at least transfer him over to another thing. Oh, and we completely missed the part of this where it was almost Star Trek. You got a captain's log at the beginning. They walk down the hallway to set up the next thing. Hey, congratulations on your command, Lieutenant. Well, go over and be the captain of that spy ship. And you saw them transport out, and the ships were right next to each other. They were actually right next to each other. It made sense.
Yeah.
And you saw them fly away, and I was like, "Oh my God, they're almost getting Star Trek right." And then they start, and then immediately when they introduced John Benjamin in there, it's like, "Oh God, of course." It's like you're listening to Rob's soundboard of Archer, and you're like, "Okay, how can we ruin Archer and Alita for everybody? People love Alita, and ruin Tribbles." Hey, let's make it so that the Tribbles only exist because of us. Because we're the writers and you're the fans, and don't you forget it.
Hey, phrasing.
But oh God, but yeah, it's just like you had a good point. They set it up correctly as a Star Trek episode with a captain's log with some exposition and a nice establishing shot of the two ships. But then, like Lucy. Like as if we were Charlie Brown, Lucy yanked the football away.
It's like they have the canon experts and they don't listen to them. Like they listen to them to a point.
Rivers 727. Now this is the power of math. Yeah.
Ka-ching.
I don't have that sound effect up. R-Far 349 New Zealand from R-Far. Haven't watched STD since season 1. Never will. You're not missing. So we're watching it so you don't have to. We're taking one for the team here. So anyway, But anyway, like they break into the argument sketch. The tribbles start. He rigs it so the tribbles start reproducing. They're reproducing all over the ship. They can't stop them. They say within a few hours that there's not going to be enough oxygen on the ship because they're sucking up all the air, and they have no choice but to abandon the ship. And H. John Benjamin gets swallowed in a tidal wave of tribbles. And so, of course, there's an inquiry, and they said your first week aboard, your new command, you lost the ship, you introduced a species into a planet that will wreak a ecological catastrophe. What do you have to say for yourself? How did you let this happen? And what was the reason?
Pizza?
What reason did they give? No, H. John Benjamin did this. He said, I kid you not, he was an idiot.
This is why Mikey Spock is a terrible fucking character. They made this character the combination of all of the bad parts of Barclay, all of the annoying bits without any of his actual heroism and brilliance, right? Barclay actually was a good character because he was well-rounded. He wasn't just a fucking idiot. So they took all the fucking idiot parts of Barclay, and then they took all the crazy psychopath parts of Suter from Voyager. You know, the guy who Brad Dourif played him. And, you know, he's really good at playing serial killers and psychos or whatever. I guess he just killed one guy. He wasn't a serial killer. But they took the combination of those two characters, like they had a transporter accident, and they had all just the evil, the negative parts of them. And then they were raised by Michael Burnham with the fucking attitude and the condescending, snarky, I have no respect for my commanding officer bullshit that they have in all of these Star Trek episodes. It's this disregard of authority and having any idea of how military ships work. So we got another super chat too.
These are simple. Captain
Say it.
$2 Catherine Hare. Triple O's. They're magically delicious. Yes.
Right. The end scene apparently. But we saw that in this trailer.
Yeah. Apparently there was a cereal commercial at the end, which was cut off on the version I saw. But oh my god, this is just. Ding. Yeah, but this is just.
We got another super chat.
So anyway, Sister Harrow, Australian $5 because you're taking one for the team. Thank you very much, Sister Harrow. So anyway, but that's the MO. That's the MO of these people. What they did was they found something about the tribbles, and then they made it so that their version of Star Trek directly contributed to it, so it legitimizes what they do. That's the tribbles wouldn't exist without us. The tribbles we know.
To it? Sorry.
What was that?
Did it contribute to it? Sorry.
Oh. Dun, 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 dun.
You know I have that noise, right?
Yeah.
So in other words, don't watch short treks. Fuck short treks. No. They understand short Star Trek.
There's a great version out there that Angry Mr. Flibble did. He just put it to the Benny Hill soundtrack, and it's perfect.
You can share that in the chat if you want
to. Yeah. Well, where is it?
I ain't gonna play it because we'll get copyright struck left and right.
Oh, it's amazing. Before they strike it and take it down for using their footage, even though it's completely 100% transformative for parody. And not monetized or anything.
Hey, it looks like Give a Fuck, Give a Buck is getting some traction.
You got to see the version on Anti-Trekker's channel
too. Yeah. Oh, you mean your tweet?
Yeah. So let's see. Let's see what we're doing here. Oh, okay. No, nothing so far. No donation so far. So okay, give a fuck, give a buck, people. That's great. Give a fuck, give a buck. Anyway, so yeah. Oh God, like I said, this is all the worst parts. This is all the worst parts of. Now, okay. Now this episode was written by a guy named Gerald Williams. I believe that's his name, Gerald Williams, and he's a writer. He wrote a number of Hugo Award-winning novels. Arfard 349. Did they ruin Rosa Salazar? Did they ruin Rosa Salazar? No, I don't think they did. She's
actually pretty decent. She does decent, and considering it's her first day, she seemed like a very fair, decent commanding officer. Except for this guy he should have never been let out of Starfleet. It is totally not her fault that this completely crazy situation happens on her first day.
No, this guy would have washed out of Starfleet. He would have been sent for psychiatric evaluation a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's always like the scientist types that are crazy that cause all these things. Reg Barkley, that's the first thing. Like, you're doing Reg Barkley here. Reg Barkley, at the very least, when he did his job, he was pretty good at it. It was just all the other stuff, like I said, the holodeck addiction, all the other stuff that got in the way. But when he actually showed up for work, he was actually pretty good at it. And he underwent some character growth. I understand it's difficult to do character growth in 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy he just went from crazy, batshit crazy to still batshit crazy.
Exactly. He didn't have it could have been something where there's like a triple pheromone that got into his skin, or something interacted with something, like you had two species near each other that shouldn't have been, that accidentally created him to experiment on them. But oh no. And the other thing this episode did, it ruined Enterprise's retcon of why the Klingons have flat foreheads. So you guys know that the whole trouble with the tribbles, how he flips out, and is the reason why he realizes, why they realize, hey, that guy's actually a Klingon, because the tribble knows his DNA and stuff. Okay, well, they introduced the human DNA. The human DNA is why the Klingons had the flat foreheads, and that was retconned and explained away in Enterprise. So wouldn't the tribbles sense and smell the human DNA mixed into the Klingons, and then they wouldn't interact on the trouble with the tribbles? Because if you can believe that he used his human DNA to what, make them breed faster or whatever.
Well, then wouldn't that make if you eat them? Then wouldn't that make you kind of a half-ass cannibal?
Mm-hmm. That too.
What is that? Think of that. Cannibalism in this fucking show, and eating other sentient beings, and
well, look at the eat babies memes going around by these fucking idiots. God.
Because it's a lazy, because they want to be edgy, and there's no better way to be edgy in 2019 than cannibalism.
I don't think that they even realized that. That's just one little thought they wouldn't have had. If they didn't think, if they didn't think, why would he be allowed to be crazy like that? This is one thing you just don't do in Star Trek.
Yeah, you're right, Catherine. Here, Soylent Green is tribbles. It's tribbles. Soylent Green is people. It's people. I love how the cops wore football helmets in that for riot gear. There's always a big thing, like in the 60s and 70s, whenever they want to show us like some kind of futuristic cop, they always had football helmets on with the full face mask and everything. And remember Rollerball, same thing. Remember Rollerball? They all had football helmets on.
So Mecha, you went and had yourself a day yesterday, huh?
Mecha had a day.
So okay, it was jumping into a Twitter thread. I guess apparently a long, like a friend from Twitter that I've known forever on Twitter here, had gotten, I guess, blocked by William Shatner, and so he if you guys here's the thread. All right, here's the first part of the thread here. And so I ended up jumping into that after he got blocked. But apparently, I guess William Shatner has been watching his whole I don't know how to tell the story. So that's the thing. It's like, where does it begin?
Well, you're part of the story. So.
Yeah. Well, when I jumped in, I said, I'm like, okay, this chick is the same chick who who had death threats on William Shatner here. And this great way to lose the rest of us. way to lose the rest of us fans. So I tweeted, he retweeted something I said. It was a couple of times, right? But apparently he had watched or seen my videos, known that I had stuck up for him on other things, right? And he's like, no, I forgave her. It's okay. And I didn't know he had forgiven her, that girl who would send him death threats, because I don't, like I said, I don't pay attention to the pro-discovery part of the fandom. I just don't. I don't care what they're up to. I don't care what's going on until they start causing, a ruckus. And I saw one thing that she had tweeted out the Monday, I guess, about the whole short trek, and Anthony Rapp had replied to her. And that's what it was in replying to, was that tweet from Monday that Working Class Klingon was replying to over on Twitter, was something about how they don't want the short treks on streaming services. So that's kind of where this all started.
A working class Klingon is something to be.
I'm Captain Kirk.
So yeah, I had him retweet a couple of things for me, and then,
$5. Captain Hare, I have a plan to save STD. The planet Mikey Spock lands on is inhabited by intelligent apes. And the series is now a Planet of the Apes reboot.
I've heard worse ideas.
Blah, blah, blah. No, blah, blah, blah.
But anyway, at the end of it all, after you two got into it pretty hardcore, not that bad, but you all made up. You hugged and made up. And
well, it wasn't even. Yeah, I don't think we got into it, but it was, it was just, oh no, it's okay, life's short, move on, sort of thing. And then I had asked him, okay, how do we fix Star Trek and stop the us versus them clicks we have lately? The media says we're racist, sexist. Some fans recite it like it's true. He'll toss aside for newer fans. Reminds me of having to hide my love for Star Trek so I wouldn't get bullied. So he says, yeah, you don't cure bullying with bullying. Yes, there appears to be a faction of fans that thrive on behaving badly. That's not unique to Star Trek. It happens all across fandoms. The media looks for eyeballs and salacious headlines to bring that. Why worry about what the media says? And I had replied to that.
Well, the problem is like, yeah, and where this kind of boils down to is though, where people are losing their jobs, ostracized, and other things for, how they feel about a TV show.
Yeah, so I responded to that with sadly, it started when some fans took it too far, believing the media, making up multiple accounts, specifically attacking people for critiquing a show. And of course, when driven far enough, I've lashed out at a few Discovery fans in the past. I admit it. This is why we get so defensive. So, but then, of course, I did apologize for kind of coming across a little snotty, and like the best part of it was like the end tweet there. I don't know if you saw the end one.
Tom, hold on. We do have some breaking news. Hold on. Got a little breaking news.
Oh no.
The GoFundMe has just had its first donor. The ball is rolling.
Mooch.
And we can say Anthony Altieri, thank you. You've donated. He's gotten the ball rolling. $20.
Breaking
Thank you very
news.
much. See, that was breaking news. Well, that was big news. So, thank you, everybody. Like I said, everybody, give a fuck, give a buck. So. It's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be
Phil J in the chat. How you doing, my friend?
Mind your own business, Mr. Spock. With your half-breed interference, do you hear?
This was the best part of it, though. So,
what's the best part? William Shatner. No, you got to read it as William Shatner. Nothing that I saw over the line. You expressed your opinion, and don't ever stop doing that, my dear. Nothing to forgive, and I want to again thank you for sticking up for me. Smoochy face.
Let's have some goddamn feelings about that.
Now read the reply as the card.
Old man Picard.
Reading the card.
Yes. Shatner, my friend, you need more dune buggies. Then you'd be happier. And stay off the twit.
More dune buggy.
I gotta stay off the damn Twitter too.
Twitter is just not good. I'm sorry.
It's a toxic cesspool full of bad things.
And
It's like
bad
it's
people.
good for it's good for sending out. It's good for like
movies.
no, it's good for like following accounts like comicbook.com and crap like that, where you find out that they want to do like a Two-Face movie and shit like that. That's good for Twitter, but it's the fact that people seem to have to get out there and I do it too, because we're human. We do these things. You get out there and you have to like say clap back or correct somebody. You have to one up them. You have to go in and say, actually this is better than this. And I do it too. You can't help it. But it's also a really good tool to interact with the fans and the viewers.
Well, and this goes to what Mecha was talking about in the Twitter war, or whatever you want to call it, the Twitter twat tit for tat. What I don't know what the fuck. I can't talk. Midnight's Edge After Dark from Route 66. Do studios like CBS, Lucasfilm wage war against their own fan bases? It doesn't make any sense on human intellect. Well, first of all, and I know Matt would probably agree with me on this one, they don't set out to piss us off. It's not like their main goal. They don't want to piss off the fans because, like you just said, it makes no sense. But they think that they're going to gain this whole new fan base by integrating, this, that, or the other into something that wasn't broke already. And then what you end up doing is pissing off said fan base. And instead of owning up to the problem, they just turn around and blame us for it.
They also don't consider people who criticize them to be actual fans.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, you'll run into that just with the yeah, you'll run into that constantly. Like, oh, you're not a real fan then. Like what? I'm not a real fan just because I'm not going to eat a turd that says Star Trek on it. Sorry. It's just not me. It doesn't mean I'm not a Star Trek fan. Doesn't mean I'm not a Star Wars fan.
You got to try to understand the bubble that these people live in. Like when I was working and living in LA, I mean, it's amazing what you're not exposed to in the industry. There are some people, especially like the bigger the show or movie that you work on, the more insulated you become. And so you get a lot of this information kind of secondhand or through a friend of a friend of a friend or something like that. And, it's very easy to kind of be dismissive and feel like, the people who are saying these things are to be ignored or ridiculed or what have you. So like, I think it's just a byproduct of this insular nature of the industry where, these people, they're just not in touch with the average.
We kind of made fun of it on South Park when Cartman hired Butters or whatever it was to edit his comments and stuff. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
He had a buffer
and the smudge. Remember?
Well, that. But I mean, I can see how like publicists and other people would keep, certain stars away from bad press and not bad press, but bad criticism and stuff like that. So like when people like, Brie Larson says, "Oh, I'm not aware that there was any backlash on Captain Marvel," she might be telling the truth, but I really don't believe her, especially considering the shit she would go out and say in public. So
I mean, I could buy it because like, she'd be one of those people who, her handlers would keep that stuff from her.
But she's been asked that in other interviews, and there was a Bounding Into Comics article where they link and show interviews where they've asked her about the backlash. So
leave Brie Larson alone. Leave her alone.
She had the Brie Larson "I just want to be a person" clip on Twitter that I sent you, Rob.
Oh yeah, that's hysterical. You're looking at it.
Play it. Scroll back and play it.
You're looking at it. What the hell is this skinny white bitch talking about?
It's great.
Oh God! No, let me take it back. But I got a feeling though, if I'd be like the most hated guy in Hollywood among Hollywood. But yeah, because now I understand too now why Seth MacFarlane is hated in certain Hollywood circles. Because there's a guy who doesn't buy into the typical Hollywood BS. I'm like, he's a guy. He's an East Coast guy. He's very kind of worked from he's from Connecticut, but he grew up in Rhode Island, so you don't get much more East Coast than that. And he just kind of does what he does. He doesn't. I can't picture him.
He doesn't follow the status quo for one.
Yeah, his parents teachers or something. Like he's.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, here's a song. Let's take a listen to that. Hold on.
Just see people. and I just played people. I didn't play Captain Marvel because I wanted to be a hero. I just wanted to be a person. With a big platform to play a person.
Shut up! Shut up!
That's too funny.
What the fuck is this skinny white bitch talking about? Yeah, she was so high, yeah. This bitch is motherfucking crazy.
No, they were thinking, yeah, I want some of what she smoked before going on here.
I gotta find her dealer. She's got the best drugs, man.
I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt that she was probably on, the circuit. She's probably been on 10 planes in the last 3 days. Probably hadn't slept much. I'll give her that. But
oh, come on. Oh, Toronto's got legal weed, I think, too. So
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
Either here or no. She didn't look like she was so much stoned as something else. So
tired.
Well, and I'm not even sure if it was tired per se, but it could be. It could be jet lag from being all over the place. I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt here still. But,
all right. Okay. There's actually a second part to this interview that you didn't hear, and actually I have the sound from that. So let's take a listen to that. That's right, Bray. Yeah, that's right.
She sounds really tired there.
Smoke weed every day.
I know just when to bring that back. It makes Rob piss his pants every time.
This is why Matt Dark has a niche audience.
One of these days we'll have more than 5 people watching it.
To be fair, Doomcock and Gary are on, and they're kind of. We have 78 here for right now. Give a thumbs up if you guys like weed.
Yeah, we love you guys, and all of our faithful are here. So that's all.
But hey, do we want to do Win Tom?
In here? Hanging out in the chat.
Do we want to do Win Tom stuff, or do we want to save that?
Let's not. Let's save it because of all the Anas stuff going on. I don't want to overshadow that or anything, and we've had plenty of super chats already. So. And all that. So, well, let's just wait on that.
Can we talk about the new trailers for the Star Trek shows?
Yeah. Well, we've talked about them, but what did you think of the new trailers?
I was very underwhelmed by the Discovery trailer.
Yeah, right.
The thing that worries me about this is that they're 1,000 years in the future, and now that they're not tied to previous canon, they're free to create new canon. So everything that Star Trek Discovery decides to do from now on is solidified in canon between the moment they jumped and 1,000 years in the future. So if they do something that we don't like say in the year, whatever, the Klingon planet Homeworld blew up, it's like, that's canon now. That's part of the prime timeline. And that kind of worries me. So,
they're inside you building a monument to compromise.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's what bothered me too. It's like I said, this is where the show should have started to begin with, and now that they really, as far as I thought, quote unquote, couldn't affect anything. I didn't really think about that aspect ahead of time that you're bringing Matthew, and that was the problem I ran into with the trailer. It's like, oh, so now they got to actively ruin Starfleet through this fucking show, even though they're 1,000 years in the future. So like you said, anything they say happened in the past is now canon. So it's like, you fucker.
Yeah, and you know how Alex Kurtzman likes to work. And then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened.
I mean, it's almost like basically sticking in a knife and twisting it as hard as you can.
Yeah, I was also very underwhelmed by the Picard trailer. I thought that the first Picard trailer was a lot better than the new one.
I agree. That's about the same thing I said.
And it struck me that the the storyline for Picard seems very similar to the storyline for Mass Effect 2. I don't know if you guys ever
I'm not
played
the only one. A lot of people were saying that online. Yeah.
Yeah.
Silence, man horse.
So it seems a little bit derivative the more we're learning about it.
I tried to play Mass Effect 2 and I could not get past. There was a certain part I could not get past the Citadel, and it was just like that stupid dialogue wheel just took me right out of it, because there was absolutely no difference if he said one thing or if he said your mother's a whore, Trebek, because if he said your mother's a whore, Trebek, that would at least been funnier. There was whatever you chose had no impact on the story. And this was a game that was sold as being, your choices impact the storyline. No, not really. They really didn't. They really didn't.
Kind of hopeful for the Picard series simply because Michael Chabon is the one show running it. But
yeah, I watched last week's short trek. No. Picard's gonna take.
In terms of Discovery, I'm still kind of wait and see. But after this new trailer, I'm kind of like, I don't know. Still looks bad.
Yeah, I watched the last short trek, and that will kind of give you an idea of how off the. Do we spoil it for him?
What, the last short trek?
Yeah.
I am a modern mellow major general.
They start singing in the elevator, spinning. Spock starts singing, breaks out into laughter because they're stuck in an elevator. Didn't think to beam out. I mean, they could beam from anywhere in the ship. They replaced Scotty with a female Scottish engineer. What else did they do? Oh yeah, they completely ignored the fact that even though Spock is half Vulcan and half human, he's spent his life on Vulcan learning to suppress his emotions and wouldn't just break out into laughter like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do have a lot of inconsistencies with.
Yeah, they keep trying to retcon shit that's already established. It's like, no, you don't need to retcon this. We already have an explanation for this.
It's not so much inconsistencies. They conveniently forget big parts of the Star Trek lore that would negate such
drivel.
Yes. Drivel. No, I mean, that's just beyond inconsistency. Okay, that's just flat out bad writing. Yeah, she was twatty, not Scotty. Yeah, twatty. Yeah.
Admiral Savala calls us super nerds.
Not to mention that what's his face, Spock looked like the worst fucking cosplay I've ever seen in my life. He's got a really bad Beatles wig on, the worst fucking fake ass eyebrows. Now here's the thing, Spock, the reason his skin looked the way it did early on, I don't know if they continued to do it throughout the movies and stuff, but didn't they give him almost like a green hue through the early episodes to signify that he had green blood?
Yeah,
it was yellow. Yeah, like yellowish. Yeah,
he looks pasty as fuck here.
Yeah,
it just doesn't sound like him, doesn't look like him. I mean, the guy may be a great actor, but I don't know why they picked him to play Spock.
I like this Vulcan that he's playing. That's the brother of Mikey Burnham. Because he at least talks down to her and snaps at her a little bit and kind of is a little condescending. So I like that. If he were any other Vulcan, God, I wish he were any other Vulcan. Why does he have to be Spock? I mean, it's just so stupid. Like, if he were any other Vulcan, I could buy their stupid relationship almost, except for the whole stupid fight they had. But. Mm-hmm. Oh man!
It's the J.J. Abrams school of nostalgia cashing in.
Yeah, did you also, JJ? Did you catch that in the New York Comic-Con bit, Matthew, about how they basically confirmed that Picard does take place in the same timeline as JJ's movies because of all the stuff that's connected to it?
I did not catch that. No.
Yeah, they confirmed that, and for some reason, I don't know if they misspoke, but what was her name again, Rob? The one lady that I keep forgetting her damn name for.
Michelle Paradise?
No, the other one.
Oh.
Kristen Byer.
Alex Kurtzman referred to her as the co-runner of Picard.
Mm.
That's news to me.
When did that happen?
Yeah, though Shaban did do most of the talking, I think, at first for Picard, besides Patrick Stewart. I don't know if that was a slip, a mess up, he misspoke. Your guess is as good as mine on that, but Robert Meyer Burnett picked that one up.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of the New York Comic Con stuff. I just saw the trailers on YouTube.
Yeah, there really wasn't much to it. Like, basically, because like Patrick Stewart's like, I'm going to save everything for my interview with the New York Times. Fuck you.
That sounds like him.
That's exactly what he said. Fuck it.
This is how far though J.J. Abrams has his meat hook in Hollywood though. Just to take a look. Yeah, this is scary. He has his own pop vinyl or whatever the fuck this thing is.
And this is the one that actually looks more like
any. Get out of this!
So many people. There's JJ fanboys all over the place.
I didn't give him a dick nose though.
Can we make this 25% different? Can we make one that's 25% different?
It is already. It doesn't have a dick nose. See that, Fatal? It doesn't have a dick nose.
Do they have a Spielberg one?
Do they?
I think so. Because I have like the Weird Al ones and the music ones, and I know they have like I got Jim Henson.
Because I just have Weird Al's action figure. I don't have a pop of him.
I do have one of the Weird Al pop. There's actually a couple.
Well, my Weird Al figure has the interchangeable head for depending on which era of his career you
I know. I'd like that one too.
Yeah, and you can change out a microphone for the accordion.
I just got the standard one where it's just, and it's not the baddest vinyl figure, but.
Well, Weird Al's kind of a character unto himself, though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, especially after a while because.
Well, they had the Bob Ross one too.
He started wearing fake sunglasses or fake glasses and wigs and shit and stuff like that over time. So.
But Mecha, didn't you say these Funkos they're kind of just so that you can put them on your video and your desk cubicle?
Yeah, you put them on your desk at work. They're for the kind of normies to signify that they're part of the geek clique, right? And like Robert Meyer Burnett calls it the post geek singularity. I kind of think that, we're doing them a disservice by dumbing everything down so they can access it. I mean, it's almost condescending. Oh, you're not smart enough for Star Trek. Here, we'll make one for you. So you can be included.
First of all, I say they're more like the equivalent of modern day Beanie Babies first.
I forgot about those.
Secondly, like to go off of what Mecha's saying, it's so they look cute and adorable like they do, so girls can have them on their desk at work, and that geeky guy can, oh, hey, I like that, and they can set off a conversation. That's part of it.
Hey,
otherwise, that's why I think they look the way they do is to attract women more so.
People was going butt crap crazy over those Beanie Babies back in the day. Do you remember that?
I remember. They were showing up at comic book shows. They were taking up a lot of floor space, and like that, it became like, and it was like, why are there Beanie Babies here? That was back in the early '90s or something like that.
But this is the kicker, Rob. All they was freaking bean bags. That's all they was.
Well, that's all these are. They're simple designs.
Here, it's like this. It's for people to have them all over their desk to say, look at the things I'm into. Pay attention. Look, I have a personality.
They're cheap. I bet they cost 30 cents to make.
Yeah, here I'm screen sharing some, Tom, if you want to.
Lump of plastic.
I got like 20 of them around me. That's what's sad. Yeah.
I've been tempted
I have
to
the
buy
one that people sent me. So
we've talked about this before. I have certain ones that are specific to certain franchises and people that I support. Don't get a lot of merchandising. That's one of the main reasons I get them.
No, but I'm not gonna lie. I do like a little spinoff that Funko have. It's called Funko Blocks. I want that new Joker that they came out with.
Like I have none of those that are pictured there.
Okay, let me
I can't tell which ones they are. I can't tell who they are.
On the left are a bunch of Star Wars ones.
Okay.
They are.
Yeah, I can't tell.
Force Awakens, and there's Finn.
I can
tell because they're good at certain things. That's
either
the thing.
Deadpool or Spider-Man.
That's Spider-Man, and then these are all Marvel characters on this side. That's Luke. Jesus Christ. That's Clark Kent down there in the right. pulling off his super shirt or his he's got a Superman thing underneath there.
No Rose Tico?
I don't see a Rose Tico. No.
Hey, whoever made those is a freaking genius, though. All you have to do is put on the same face, change the hair, change the clothes, and bam, sell it for $18.
Yeah, oh yeah, and that's the thing. But see, now Mecha agrees with me on one thing, and that is certain creature ones they're really good at.
Well, the ones that look good are like the Dark Crystal ones that they did, and the Fraggles looked amazing. I would have considered buying the Fraggles if I didn't have to buy like 7 figures and specifically hunt down all the furry versions of the Fraggles.
Is good,
but I do have a PO box if anyone wants to send me all of them. But no, like those I liked because they looked like the things. But then I decided, if I got one, I'd have to get them all, and that was just a bigger investment than I wanted. So those are the exceptions of the ones that I like.
Yeah, the only ones that I have that are not creatures are like Coming to America, Beverly Hills Cop, Caddy. Gopher actually looks really good.
They have a Coming to America versions?
Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta get those.
Yeah. See, like I have a couple like things, but this is like my Marvel Legends Sentry, just because but like Sentry, nobody has Sentry. Nobody would buy the Sentry except me.
Yeah, he's underrated.
Exactly, and it's like he is a split personality. The Void, he's his own worst enemy. That's the whole point of that. And like I have a Green Lantern somewhere, but the whole point of that is I always thought your personality was defined by the things you do, not by the things you buy. I've always, because anybody can go out and buy Funkos. I mean, there's a saying, interests make a man interesting.
We should make a Funko Pop commercial, Rob, and make a jingle for them.
They're dying, and that's what I was going to get to in the first place, and that's why I compare them to Beanie Babies. Is their worth is going down fast. Mm-hmm. Like that's why I don't buy any of these expensive bastards. I stay the fuck away from those.
But you know what? They were probably banking on that when they created that it was going to go down eventually.
Well, so it was never going to last forever, of course.
Yeah, just ride that freaking wave, make $1 billion a day, and freak it. It's over.
Oh yeah. I don't doubt it.
Did you guys hear that they announced the Coming to America sequel or remake or whatever it is going to be PG-13?
Yeah.
You know why he wanted PG-13? You know why he wanted PG-13, Matt? He want all the money. He don't want some of the money.
Fucking A, Eddie, because I also heard that there was a bit in it that James Earl Jones made him cut out too. There was something he refused to say that was in the script.
Well, one of the brilliant things about the original Coming to America was that it was very adult. It was raw. Yeah. And this one, it sounds like they're really dumbing it down.
Oh, it's a sequel, that I know. But
I mean, it's a dope movie. You got Samuel L. Jackson robbing a McDonald's.
The original Coming to America was one of the funniest movies ever made, in my opinion. It's fantastic. I love that movie.
And now Eddie wants to cash grab. PG-13. That's crazy.
I'm looking forward to the My Name is Dolomite movie.
Yeah, me too. I wonder if Netflix thing isn't that maybe more has to do with Paramount, I wonder, because they're probably afraid to release an R-rated movie right now like that.
Well, it seems to me like Eddie Murphy is kind of doing an apology tour for all of his edgier stuff. So
I hope his fucking stand-up doesn't suck.
I think that he's kind of trying to appeal more to the family crowd that he hit with Shrek and stuff. I think that's why he's doing this stuff.
That freaking sucks, though, because we know Eddie as the raunchy, nasty comedian. We don't want this Reading Rainbow Eddie Murphy,
Well, he's going for what butters his bread.
And not to disrespect Reading Rainbow, because I freaking love this show. LeVar Burton was the man.
It could backfire on him, though, Matthew. That's the thing. It's one thing to do like Nutty Professor. Don't get me wrong. It's another thing, and the Dr. Dolittle thing. He did that for a while. This Dolomite thing might break him back out into the mainstream again here, and that's what's going to hurt him. Is if this is PG-13, and people are expecting the R-rated Eddie that we get in Dolomite, because this will be like his first R-rated movie since what?
since
I
forever.
don't even remember his last movie.
Because he went on a
His last movie was that Mr. Whatchamacallit, that churchy movie.
Mr. Church.
Yeah, Mr. Church or whatever it
But
was.
you know, for one while, Eddie started going on a PG-13 tour with the
I
movie.
was gonna say, I'm trying to think of the last time Eddie Murphy made an R-rated movie. It might have been.
Was
like
it Norbert?
No, that was
PG-13.
It might have been Nutty Professor. The first.
No. Well, no, Nutty Professors were PG-13, but they did do an uncut version for the DVD of the second one. But that was just borderline R. I think his last R-rated movie might be Beverly Hills Cop 3 or Metro.
Dang.
What
Metro
about Pluto Nash? What was
that? Was PG or PG-13? Pretty sure.
That was the movie that almost killed his career.
Oh yeah, well yeah, it's the one he got paid the most for, I think too. And it sat on a shelf for like 2 or 3 years.
It was really bad.
What was that?
Pluto Nash sat on the shelf.
I think so, for at least a couple of years.
That movie was so horrible.
Yeah, I tried watching it once.
Yeah,
I didn't
pretty bad
either. But I love Eddie Murphy. He's like, Dreamgirls was PG-13, I think. Maybe it was R. Maybe Dreamgirls was his last R-rated.
That wasn't really a Eddie Murphy movie, though.
No, that's not
just a supporting actor.
Right. He needs to do another 48 hours before fucking Nick Nolte ups and dies.
Can Nick Nolte even form a coherent sentence anymore?
Yeah, you can probably sit there and go,
I think he's in very Busey territory.
I ain't your partner, I ain't your friend, I ain't your best bud. What the hell am I doing here?
I'm gonna tell you Eddie's most hardcore movie.
God damn it, Reggie.
I'm gonna tell you Eddie's most hardcore movie. Have y'all seen Harlem Night?
Oh yeah.
Oh God, I haven't seen that in years. Yeah.
That's hardcore, man.
Oh,
What about A Vampire in Brooklyn?
I liked Vampire in Brooklyn, even though
That
most
movie
people
funny. Yeah, that's a funny movie.
That was a Wes Craven movie.
You remember the part when he was in the church? You remember that scene?
It's been a while since I've seen.
See, here's the thing with Vampire in Brooklyn. I know it's a butt of some jokes, but I look at it as two huge tyrants of the 80s trying to go a different direction. You had Eddie, who was trying to do a little bit more serious, a little bit more horror-ish kind of thing, because he is a horror fan. And then you had Wes Craven, who was trying to get more mainstream at that point. Because was that just before or after he went and did? I think after he did the one with Meryl Streep, right? Because I think that was the deal. He did that one for Disney, and then he got to do the whatever, the Faith of the Heart or whatever the fuck it was called, one with Meryl Streep in it. Wes Craven got nominated for a bunch of awards and shit. I'm trying to think what the hell it's called. It was the only dramatic like movie he did that wasn't a horror movie.
Wes Craven is the reason why I still can't sleep good at night. Man.
But I think he did Vampire in Brooklyn as a deal to get that or something like that or somewhere around there. I don't remember exactly.
See, I didn't know Wes Craven was behind that. He directed the movie?
He directed a Vampire in Brooklyn, yeah, and then he was trying to do some different things in that era. And like I said, then he went back to horror. So, yeah.
He did. Eddie Murphy did this one. It was a political movie. Do you guys remember?
Oh, Distinguished Gentleman. I love that movie.
Yeah, The Distinguished Gentleman. That was it, where he got elected to the Senate.
That was part of his really bad 3-picture deal with Disney. There were some decent movies, but they just didn't do well at the box office. And that was that one, Holy Man, and
Boomerang.
No, that was Paramount. It was another one.
Haunted House, wasn't it?
What one?
Haunted House.
That might have been part of it, but I want to say it was like Metro or something was the third one to finish off the deal.
What was Eddie's first big movie? Was it Trading Places?
No, 48 Hours.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Hours.
Because he was still on Saturday Night Live when 48 Hours came out. Because the famous story, and I don't know if I'm thinking Rob knows this story, Nick Nolte was supposed to host Saturday Night Live to promote the movie, and he was so fucking drunk that he couldn't do the show. So Eddie Murphy was the first, I believe, ever in history host who was actually a star in the show and hosting at the same time because of that.
Yeah.
Probably his best movie of the 80s, though, was Golden Child. I love that movie.
See, I said that.
Underrated movie. I don't know about best, but
I said it on the show. That
okay.
movie is underrated, man.
Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop is probably his best, but Golden Child, I could watch that movie like anytime, anywhere.
Tom said it's all over the place, but I thought it was cool.
I love that movie because it came out right around the time that Big Trouble in Little China did. They're basically the same movie.
Yeah. And it's funny, you brought that up. We said the same thing. I said, I think it was a movie that was really meant for somebody like John Carpenter. And at that time, Eddie could do whatever the hell he wanted, and he wanted to do something different. And he saw Golden Child, and then they just kind of wrote his character into it.
Tom, didn't you say that script was getting passed around in Hollywood, and then nobody wanted it?
I think so. If it wasn't that one, it was another one I was talking about. But it sounds about right. I'm sure there was other people attached to it before. It doesn't sound like it was an Eddie Murphy vehicle to begin with.
I hope you guys don't think I'm being creepy, but I've always wanted to know the Golden Child, that little kid. I want to see what he looked like. I don't know why.
Nowadays?
Yeah,
Actually,
nowadays.
She, let me see.
Oh, it was a girl. I forgot about that.
I'm going to say, I know she just did something. I think she had a reunion with Eddie Murphy or something like that recently.
Oh, we got to pull that picture up.
Yep, here it is.
Man, Charles Dance was the bad guy in that movie.
Man, that dude, he's like one of the top 10 villains in Hollywood, man.
I like him. He's the one that was in Last Action Hero too, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, I like that one too. Yeah.
Yep.
There you go. That's what she looks like now.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Good old Tywin Lannister, the go-to bad guy.
You just gonna rub that on your jacket? I hope it freezes up and you cut your finger on it.
Y'all guys know.
Wipe that finger off your jacket before it freezes up and you cut yourself. That's what he said.
You know, I want that. You see what the little girl got on that picture with the little robe thing? Ric Flair wears those robes. I want one of those glimmery, shiny robes and just want to walk around Walmart in one of those. You know, I'm getting at that point in my life where I don't really care anymore, and I just want to do weird and random things just to make myself feel good. You know,
just make sure you videotape it so you can put it on YouTube.
I'm gonna videotape it.
Are there Walmarts where people don't wear clothes like that?
That's true. I really won't be standing out, you know, but I blend in.
Oh shit! Yeah, we talked about that too. Why Eddie didn't get to do Star Trek 4?
What? Eddie was going to be in Star Trek?
Yeah, there was a whole character that he was supposed to play, a cop, and who's like on to the crew being there. He doesn't know exactly what's up, but he knows something's up or whatever. But I guess the character got completely cut.
Dang.
Did we ever find out what happened to the Beverly Hills Cop TV show?
They just did a pilot and CBS turned it down. I would love to see the pilot leak online. That would be amazing.
You know what was funny is I don't know if you ever watched that Showtime original series Californication with the
no, David, I know what it is. I've seen like an episode here and there.
Yeah, the guy from X-Files,
yeah,
David Duchovny, is that his name?
Yeah.
But they had a season where they were doing a TV show called Santa Monica Cop, and it was blatantly a ripoff of Beverly Hills Cop, and it starred RZA, and it was very much like it was almost like the people making the show knew what was going on with the Beverly Hills Cop show, and just translated it into their series. It was really funny.
Was it like supposed to be like a sequel TV show about a guy, like based on an old movie or something like that, or what?
No. It was basically like they had this black rapper, and they were like, "We need a show for him. Let's make him a cop in Santa Monica." Like it was blatantly like stereotypically racist, you know. But like that was kind of the point. So it was a very funny thing, and like they hired the character of the show to come in and write the episodes, and so he had to balance writing schlock with his integrity. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, I don't understand why CBS would turn that down. It makes no sense.
It had to have been really bad.
It must have been. What was that?
Because it was a good idea. That's how
well,
I turned it down.
That or they probably figured it was too expensive. Because otherwise I would be like seeing them going, we got to put this on, CBS All Access, because because Eddie was in the pilot and he was supposed to produce it and potentially show up from time to time. It was about his son, but Judge Reinhold was supposed to have like the co-star or something like that or something or other. And it was supposed to be like a straight up sequel to the rest.
There was a period of time where Hollywood was kind of snatching up the rights to all these older, lesser known movies. Like, for instance, when I was working in Hollywood, the movie Cocktail, they were trying to make that into a TV series.
Didn't they actually accomplish to get like a pilot online on TV? I thought
probably, but like there were a lot of things like that where they were taking these more obscure kind of 80s and early 90s movies and then trying to adapt them into TV shows.
I'm pretty sure somebody in Hollywood, one of these hip young executives in Hollywood, said, "Hey, I saw this old movie called MASH. Has anyone ever tried? Yeah, we should make that a TV show. No one's done that before." Yeah, it was a show. It was on in the 70s. And
it's a whole bunch of guys like that in Hollywood.
Not much though.
Yeah. Hey, I saw this old show. This old show called The Odd Couple. Maybe we should. I don't think anyone's done that.
The Odd Couple is probably the most recycled idea in television history.
Oh, snap.
Kid who's
God. Speaking of things that are coming back.
Oh, boy.
Revenge of the Nerds sequel?
Oh, I did hear about that. Thanks for reminding me about that, Mecha. I have what do you know about this? I just seen a thing about it. I don't know anything about it. I can't believe they would actually try it, but I guess if you're going to do it, there is no other way to do it.
I mean, especially in this day and age. I mean,
you guys mean a reboot? You guys talk a reboot? Because it already had a sequel, right?
There's a couple of articles.
Yeah, no, they were going to do a reboot 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did have 2 straight-to-TV sequels of the first 2 movies. Nerds 3 and 4 were on Fox Network. Well, what the hell?
Because Revenge of the Nerds changed my life.
I love it.
Oh,
I love that freaking movie.
Absolutely.
Okay, let me.
How much crying will we hear? How much crying would we hear now? It's problematic.
It's encouraging bullying.
I just like this part.
Encouraging bullying.
I just like this part right here. It's all nerds as good as you. Yes.
Yeah.
I think they should give the character of Ogre his own series and just follow him around.
I loved him. No, those are great. That's kind of why I kind of preferred nerds when dating and stuff.
I wanted to join Lambda. I thought that was a real fraternity when I was a kid.
I think Lambda is too. Yeah,
they are.
Find yourself a Delta.
I dated in a Mega Move for a while. I'm not fucking kidding. She even had the little fucking cow and everything, the little stuffed animal.
One of those art imitates life type thing.
What was the black gay guy name? I forgot his name.
Lamar, I love him.
Oh yeah, Lamar.
Yeah, we'll never ever see an NC-17 film in theaters again. Probably not.
Because when Revenge of the Nerd came out, it was kind of like Porky type stuff,
Mm-hmm.
Don't they have people debuting movies on Pornhub? Like,
but the weird thing is Jay and Silent Bob's reboot is coming out next week in select theaters, and I think it's unrated.
Huh?
Oh, that's cool.
At least that's what it said on the ticket thing.
Lambda is now. It's now a real fraternity. It's a fraternity. Yeah, it is. It is. I don't know if it was back then, but it's now. The University of Connecticut has a page for it. Tri-Lambs does not discriminate based on race, gender, religion, class, ability, gender identity, or sexual orientation. Fraternity was founded on the grounds of changing what a fraternity is back to its original meaning. So it's like almost like PCU then.
Matt, we could join. We could join, Matt.
I'm down if you are.
All right, here's the original article from Movie Hole.
I say we blow the fuckers up.
Stick that in your movie hole.
And smoke.
Come on, guys. That was Booger.
Oh, Booger was cool. I forgot about him.
I loved him.
He's still around doing movies.
I think I have a frush. A frush? What the fuck is a frush? Oh, well. See, you got too many cards here. Let me take these, and I'll give you 3 new cards. Oh, thank you.
The last time I seen Booger, he was in a movie called The Little Giants. You remember that movie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, isn't he on?
Yeah.
Wasn't he on some TV show recently?
He's on American Dad.
He's in a lot of stuff.
Not just that, but I mean, like he's on a big TV show right now, and I can't think of what it is.
He was on Moonlighting for a while.
And Booger was on Tom Cruise movie, Risky Business, right?
Oh, he's been in a lot of shit. Yeah.
I like Booger.
Well, then you got
Curtis Armstrong.
Yeah, and then you got what's his face Carradine here, who was this is David, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he was just on Doom Patrol, the TV series.
You
Yeah,
talking about,
that's what I was thinking of.
y'all talking about the guy from Love and Marriage? I mean, Married with Kids.
Well, that's Ted McGinley.
That dude was awesome.
My favorite role from Booger was actually from Better Off Dead.
I love
He was
that.
in science
yeah.
class.
Yeah,
He
trying to get high.
talks
I love when he's on top of the fucking mountain.
Lane.
Pure snow. This is pure snow. Do you know the street value of this? Oh, I can't feel my brain.
Speaking of not feeling your brain,
But he goes.
have you guys? What do you guys think of
He
Gemini
says
Man?
to him,
What you talking about the Will Smith movie?
I'm not.
Yeah, the Will Smith movie.
I haven't seen it yet.
Excited for that?
He's gonna get killed by the Joker this weekend.
Yeah.
If they were smart, they'd have pushed it off a week.
Well, it's coming out. It's coming out tomorrow, right? Or this week?
I think so. I think it came out today or whatever.
You
Yesterday.
know my first thoughts when I seen the trailer?
What's that?
Now, this is a story, y'all, about how.
Well, it's funny because they make a big deal about. They make a big deal about him fighting his younger self, but he looks exactly the same.
Right? Not much different.
Yeah, you can't tell like that it's the younger version of Will Smith, except maybe he's like, got a little bit more hair on his head.
They basically wasted a bunch of money on CGI when all they had to do was have him shave.
Pretty much.
It's all the Scientology bath salts that are doing. Yeah.
Like he hasn't aged at all.
Is Will still in that? Will still in Scientology?
Oh yeah,
I think
so.
I think so.
Or is it him or is it his wife? I can't remember which one.
They're both into it.
Well, I thought whichever one of them isn't. I don't think.
Yeah, once you're in Scientology, you don't get out of it.
Tom Cruise tried to recruit Ron Howard into Scientology. He said Ron Howard was on Howard Stern. He said, Tom Cruise is a really nice guy. But then he started talking about Scientology, and I said, Tom, I'm just not much of a joiner.
Well, you should be able to do Ron Howard.
Said, that was it. That was it. He left me alone about it. Like
Tom Cruise tries to recruit everyone to Scientology. In fact, when I worked at Paramount, there was always stories about how like on every Tom Cruise movie, like towards the end of the shoot, he'd like set up a tent and he would have, like Scientology people in this tent trying to recruit, people who worked on the movies, educate them about Scientology, get them to join the church and stuff like that. So it's like, it's a real thing. Like he's very active in recruiting for that church.
I love the Grand Theft Auto equivalent of Scientology, the Epsilon program. Kiflom! Oh no, not another one.
Well, getting back to Eddie Murphy, what about Bowfinger? Remember the Scientology stand-in in that movie?
And not only that, he was robbed of a fucking Oscar for that movie.
That was a great movie.
That is
Eddie Murphy's
Frank
best.
Oz's best movie. That is Steve Martin's best movie. That is Eddie Murphy's best movie, hands
What
down.
happened to Heather Graham? What happened to Heather Graham? She was in that.
People figured out that she couldn't fucking act.
Like that ever mattered?
Well, she got old. Then that matters.
Oh, she hit the wall. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I was never
when
a fan of hers. So
when I saw her dancing to the Guess Who and Austin Powers, I'd be like, damn it, I'm so proud to be an American right now.
She was one of the only parts of that movie I didn't care for, and that's my favorite Austin Powers movie actually. But
she was in Angie Tribeca, The Rest of Us. She's in Desperados. She did a pilot called The Hypnotist Love Story. Shorty.
That Scientology shit's all over that movie. But anyway, back to Revenge of the Nerds. So they're talking about a reunion movie. Huh? How are they going to tackle this, Rob? Let's see here. Up 10 years after Fox, since you're not reading it, let's one time.
I have a different article up. That's why.
Well, whatever. I got two of them up. Lizzie McGuire sequel. Robert Carradine, who would be David Carradine.
Fox's.
Carradine.
He's David Carradine's brother. And
Yes,
John Carradine is There's too damn many of them.
Movie hole.
All right.
I want to
They're
see
like
how the
they're like
blonde look.
Baldwins.
I want to see how the
Oh
blonde
my
still
God,
looks.
they killed the Baldwins.
All the Baldwins.
All the Baldwins are dead.
Uh,
I love. When are we going to do? We forgot to do
Umpteen
the watch party of that.
Do the what?
South Park. Yeah. Watch
South
party.
Park watch party for the movie because it's a 30th anniversary or 20th anniversary.
Oh, is it still on YouTube or? Well, let's do it. Let's do it this weekend or something.
I got
And
Blu-ray.
my 5-year YouTube anniversary is Sunday, so I'm thinking about streaming that day.
Ooh, well, yeah, we're gonna start telethons. I think tomorrow for us. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of shit going on.
We got a lot of streams coming up this weekend, so we'll keep an eye out on my channel, probably here, Midnight's Edge, Nerdrotic, Doomcock, all the channels that are in the Star Trek communities.
Just make sure you don't cross the streams. It's dangerous.
Oh yeah, and China banned South Park. Did you guys hear about that?
Yeah, and South Park said "fuck China."
Yeah, fuck China.
You know what? I'm surprised Canada hasn't banned South Park.
Blame Canada.
Well,
Yeah,
Canada has slightly more tolerance for political messaging than China.
They do Canadians so bad on South Park.
I mean, we're talking about China as a country that has a social credit system where if people don't like what you do, you can literally have your life destroyed. I mean, like there's a lot of censorship in China.
Man, look at China. They army marches. You see how high when they lift their leg up when they march? I don't play with people like that. They mean serious business.
See, that's why I wanted to book around China and go through Korea because then when we book to Japan.
Have you guys watched this season yet, though?
No, I don't know if I have Hulu anywhere. So
this is how people in China march.
Password if I have enough left.
People in China march like this. Do you think I'm gonna mess with somebody like that? I'm not gonna mess with somebody that marches like this.
The whole second episode revolved around Integrity getting into the Chinese market, and it's obviously a play on the whole, the movies industry tailoring itself to the Chinese market. Because even like Randy gets caught up with all the Disney characters. It's fucking hilarious. And Mickey's back. Who the fuck is Randy Marsh? Oh, it's me. And he gets stoned with Mickey.
Blame Canada.
We're gonna have a civil war, and the country's gonna split off into 3 parts. You're gonna have the part that's gonna go off with Trey Parker, Matt Stone, Seth MacFarlane, those type of people, and then you're gonna have like the people who are gonna go off on one side and then the other side.
Just wait till you see what they do to Winnie the Pooh in that. Holy shit!
Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the well, that's a rip on the Chinese
Yeah, but I'll tell you off air because I don't want to spoil it for anybody in the chat.
Well, don't spoil it for me. I haven't seen the episode.
You call him public. You're arrested.
Man.
I just noticed that in the What's Hot thing on the screen there, Twin Peaks season 4.
Why?
That would be amazing. We need a season 4 after the ending.
I heard the last part sucked.
It didn't suck. It was unique. I'll give it that. But it was Twin Peaks through and through. And I would love to have another season that kind of tied up some of the loose ends that they left with season 3.
Yeah, that was the best line in that Alpha J. South Park, do we own that yet? Not yet, sir.
And that was the episode when Mickey went nuts, right?
Good.
Man, he was beating the crap out of the Jonas Brothers.
Shut up!
No, this is the newest one.
Disney's gonna buy us in a few minutes, any minute now. So
they
I
can
take that Disney money.
But this the kicker. They already own me.
Oh God, we also have a movie hole plot leak of Home Alone reboot.
What?
Did you hear that?
And
that
Nathan
rumor?
Fillion's Suicide Squad.
I'm
costume.
easy. I'm easy. Just park a brand new VW GTI in my driveway, and I'm good to go.
Trip
Did
to
you hear
Japan. Trip to Japan.
Just
Did you hear
imagine.
Did you hear the rumor about Disney buying Spider-Man for like $5 billion?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, though. There's some credence to it in the sense that Apple's really circling Sony, I guess. And if that's the case, they may not even have to worry about it. Because if Sony it gets bought out and it's not bought, the whole company, as far as I know, I've been told by several people that the rights revert to Marvel. So,
wow, that's kind of awesome, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Good news. But back to this Home Alone. Just imagine if we get a Home Alone reboot with Macaulay Culkin.
Hey, again, Woody Hole.
We'll get back to the Spider-Man thing though, because I wonder if that's even a proper number. But anyway.
Just imagine we get a Home Alone with Macaulay Culkin inside a meth lab. And he has to protect himself from the meth dealers.
Well, have you watched his YouTube channel, his bunny ears stuff?
Yeah, I love his shit. He's hilarious.
Yeah, Macaulay seems pretty down to kind of lampoon his old Home Alone stuff.
Just imagine, do he still get a check from the movies?
Oh yeah.
Jeez, he gonna be rich forever, man. That's a Christmas movie.
Tom,
what's this? He-Man may go to Netflix.
Yeah, I forgot about that too. Yeah, we got to do that one.
What, the original series?
No, it's the new movie, but we'll talk about that because Andre's got an editorial coming out about that. But what's the deal with this fucking female Home Alone movie?
Well, what wasn't Melissa McCarthy rumored to be like the main bad guy?
Wow, 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 wow.
Something like she was the new bandit or robber or something like that.
So
This movie already sucks.
So we may have
is it a TV show or is it a movie?
Who knows?
If Melissa is in it, it already sucks. It's a done deal.
True. Yeah, I don't find Melissa McCarthy funny, even in the movies that she's been kind of lauded for her comedy in, like Bridesmaids and Spy and stuff like that. I didn't find those movies very funny at all. Personally.
Yeah, I think she's a better dramatic actress than she is a comedian.
I don't even think she's a good dramatic actress.
I've seen her in some good movies as a dramatic actress. That one she did with Bill Murray was all right, but it's just characters where she's not the main character though either.
She has one note. She does one thing. She falls down and you point and laugh and say, ha, 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 ha. Look, she fell down. She's awkward because she's fat. Get it?
She to learn not to be doing fucking remakes. And what is she doing? She's doing Little Mermaid. She's doing this if that's the case.
She's the gender swapped Chris Farley.
What the fuck?
I'm gonna be honest with you though. That Little Mermaid casting might be spot on because she playing the fat witch lady, right?
Yeah, but first of all, that character's based on Divine. Okay. And there's at least probably 4 or 5 other people I'd say that would be better for it than her. Because she's just annoying, not necessarily menacing. There's a difference.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Hell, even Oprah Winfrey would be better a choice than her.
That would be a good pick.
Oprah Winfrey can't play evil, though. She just can't.
It would be the perfect thing for her to play evil in, though, if she really wanted to, like, chew on something.
Who else can play a fat, mean lady?
Leslie Jones?
Yeah, that was actually going to be the one I can't believe, and even though that's, like, the part that was tailored for her, actually.
Just to imagine how animated Leslie Jones would be.
That's the thing, is I don't know if she can sing.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's never stopped Hollywood before. They just overdub.
Well, they didn't What's Her Face in Beauty and the Beast, and they should have.
Yeah, and they did the same thing in the first Lion King movie, too, with Simba. It was 2 different people doing that voice.
Well, yeah, in Aladdin, the singer is not the same as because it's Steve or whatever his name is from fucking.
I know what you're talking about.
The voice of Aladdin, and then his singing voice is a completely different person.
Yeah.
But you also had like on Nightmare Before Christmas where Chris Sarandon did the voice of Jack Skellington, and then Danny Elfman did the singing voice.
Man, Tim Burton was the man. Is Tim Burton still making movies?
Unfortunately. Kathy Bates would be perfect, but she's a little old, I think. That's the only problem.
Well, with CGI, they were able to de-age Samuel L.
Yeah.
Jackson and Will Smith.
Well, yeah, that's the whole thing between the whole, like, bringing up Gemini Man again. I seen Scorsese was talking about The Irishman, saying how that deep fake technology and shit's going to replace makeup in the future.
Dang.
Well, The Irishman's getting really huge praise. I want to see that fucking movie so bad.
I want to see any Scorsese movie.
Well, yeah,
Same here.
this is
Same
one
here.
I'm really looking forward to.
I rewatched Taxi Driver recently because of the Joker, and God, that's a good movie. It's
Vito and drag.
I can see that. Yeah, for what's her name, the bad guy in Little Mermaid, Danny DeVito. He can play any part.
I'm gonna tell you who really made the Home Alone movies, in my opinion. The guy that played Marv. Remember him?
Joe Pesci?
I mean, what's the other dude name?
Daniel Stern.
That dude was awesome.
Mhm.
Is he still alive?
Of course, yeah, I think he is. Yeah.
Is he in any recent movies?
Oh, he's one of those character actors that just shows up and stuff.
Yeah, I think he's been in a few things recently.
I think the first time I seen him get shocked by that washing machine and he turned into a skeleton, but still had that afro going on, I probably laughed myself into oblivion and then brought myself back together just to laugh again.
Yeah, he was just on the show Angie Tribeca. Looks like he's doing mostly TV now. He did a short film, I think, on Funny or Die called City Slickers in Westworld.
Andrew Tribeca, that wasn't too bad from what I saw of it.
No, it was a funny show.
It was, Rob, did you see it? He's muted.
Yeah, I've seen a few episodes here and there. It was pretty good.
Yeah, it was like a police
Machine Guns
squad.
is always-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fatal J, you ever watch City Slickers?
You know what? Surprisingly not. And I know it's a classic. I need to see it.
You gotta
I need
watch
to see
that. It's great.
I got to see it. I don't know. For some reason, when people say City Slickers, I always confuse it with that other movie too. The Three Amigos movie. You know?
Three Amigos.
I don't know why. I don't know why I get that mixed up in my head. I'm special. I'm crazy. Cha-ching.
Ching, Matt G, $2. De Niro and Irishman and Joker. Is this a comeback? He never really went away.
I was gonna say he's De Niro.
Yeah, he's one of the staples of Hollywood.
Man, De Niro can never fall off. That's impossible. You know, if he come out, when De Niro come out with crappy movies, do you notice people just forget about it? They don't even speak on it. They just overlook it. Have you noticed that?
Well, it's because the movie can be crappy, but he's generally good in just about everything he does. I can't think of a time where like he's done a bad job in a movie.
He killed it in Jackie Brown.
Oh, he's awesome in that.
I love that movie.
That's one of Tarantino's unsung.
And I mean, we got two co-actors just going at it. Samuel and Robert De Niro.
What about that scene in Jackie Brown where Samuel L. Jackson's trying to convince Chris Tucker to get into the trunk of his car? You remember that? That's one of the best scenes ever.
Did we actually get into the article here? It actually says Melissa McCarthy and Will Ferrell won't get in.
Oh,
or not. I'm sorry. We're reportedly linked in earlier incarnation. It doesn't sound like they're currently involved, but
yeah.
Well, I'm sure it's gonna be cheap as hell.
Yeah, it'll be like Home Alone 3
streaming service. And I watched the trailer for that Lady and the Tramp. It looks like one of those old ass cheap made for TV Disney movies.
Y'all the movie guys, I always wondered this question. Okay, Home Alone 3, for instance. Is that is those type of movies just like tax write-offs for the studios?
I think they're quick cash grabs, right?
Because when they making these movies, they have
a cash grab.
I'm thinking, you know, you making crap. You have to know. Home Alone 2 is a classic. Then you come out with this crap where he's just at home. I'm thinking if you're going to do a Home Alone 3 movie, do a Home Alone in space or something where he got in a rocket and, you know, his parents meant for him to get on a jet. And
they
you know
made
what I
that
mean?
movie. They made that movie. It's called Space Camp. Go watch it. It's really good. It stars Joaquin Phoenix, actually.
Isn't he credited as his original name though, or whatever?
Yeah, I remember that. But when they do these straight DVDs after a big blockbuster, I'm thinking this is a tax write-off.
It's not necessarily a tax write-off. It's basically they know that the franchise is dying and they're trying to cash in on it. So.
That, or try to reinvigorate it in some way, because at that point, Macaulay Culkin was a done and over with. He was about ready to graduate from high school, I think, and when that one came out, and it was just recast the kid, recast the family, and then they did like 2 or 3 straight to television sequels too after that. So the Home Alone movies 1 and 2 will always be there. I'm not so worried about that anymore. It's like whatever. They've done so many sequels to it that it just doesn't even really.
I'm gonna tell you, freak Home Alone. You know what they need to come out with? Another Problem Child movie. You remember Problem Child?
Don't tempt them.
Well, they already came out with a Child's Play reboot,
right? I mean, I love Problem Child 1 and 2. I mean, I'll even argue that 2 might be funnier than the first one. That might be one of those rare sequels.
Yeah. John Ritter.
Yeah, I forgot. You can't do it.
Well, not only that, wife is in that too, and she's amazing in it. Amy Yazbek or whatever her name is, because she played in both movies 2 different parts.
She sure did.
And unless you stop and think about it or realize it, you don't know that's the same actress from the first movie.
You really don't.
2 different characters she plays.
And why can't movies be that creative anymore? Have the same actors but have them play different roles. That was the coolest thing ever.
Well, they do that with these anthology shows like American Horror Story and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, they used to do it a lot in television. Like Star Trek was notorious for having lots of different actors who would come on for multiple different parts all the time, and play different characters all the time.
Like the chick in This Generation in the first season, the blonde chick. I can't think of her name right now.
Well, Stargate used to do that with all their aliens. Like they would have actors who would play aliens and they get them out of makeup and reuse them for different characters and stuff.
Yeah, but that was still back in the 90s, though. They don't do that anymore.
Yeah, most of the time when they do these TV movie things like this, Christian Garcia's right. They're kind of like backdoor pilots. And what they are meant to do is they're kind of like to test the waters. Plus, they can front load a lot of the costs. Kind of like what STD did with Netflix. And that way they can kind of offset the cost in case the show does get picked up. Then they already have the sets. They already have, all the stuff there and pretty much prepaid for in a way.
How did they get the funding for this new season? Because I know Netflix for a while was backing them up. But
they still have to pay a percentage, I'm sure. It's just not as high as it was before. As far as the rest of it, they subsidize a lot of it. Here's the thing, if you get CBS All Access, you have 2 different versions. You have the $9.99 version that doesn't have commercials, and then there's the other one that has commercials. So right there, they're selling you commercials. They get revenue that way. Same kind of thing there.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Tom. The commercials are better than the show.
And what they're hoping you're doing is, especially if you're a Star Trek fan, they're hoping you hop on there and that's all you watch, because then they keep all that money themselves.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is like, and the more you watch, the more your money gets spread out over different things. And if it's something that's older and other people have to be paid, well, this person gets their fraction of a cent and that person gets their fraction of a cent. And in the case of like Star Trek Discovery, that's why Netflix likes their own, all these things. That's why all these streaming services have all their original shows, because if you watch them, they get to keep the lion's portion of the money then.
Yeah.
I'm sure Matt knows what I'm talking about.
And Tom, you and I did a video a while back where I kind of made the case that Discovery is funded for at least 5 seasons because of the Netflix deal.
Yeah, that was the other thing you had brought up, that's a possibility too. And that was another thing with the whole front loaded thing. Most of the show's major costs are already covered from the first season from the big payout from Netflix. So yeah, and then whatever they have with their contract throughout the rest of the seasons. So
yeah, so we at least 2 more seasons after this one.
Probably
decides to cancel it.
My guess is they signed on for at least 3 with 2 optional. If I really wanted to play devil's advocate, because the thing with Netflix is they have that 3-season kind of.
Well, also CBS All Access is U.S. and Canada only, I think, and for all the other international.
No, they don't have CBS All Access in Canada.
Okay, so for all the international stuff, it's their stuff goes on Netflix. Netflix kind of handles the Discovery stuff.
Right, and that's what pisses them off is they wanted the U.S. Yeah, but that's where the big bucks are. Because I think worldwide they have as many subscribers as they do in the U.S. comparably, or however you want to put it. So I think worldwide they have like 50 million, and they have like 40 million just in the U.S. alone. So
if Netflix is still coming out of pocket on this Star Trek Discovery, why isn't Star Trek Discovery on Netflix?
That was the CBS. It is on in other countries, yes.
Yeah,
just
not in the U.S. And if you were to go to a different country and get Netflix there, you'd.
Yeah, Andre watches it right off Netflix. Like he had to dig and find the short treks last season because they buried them under the trailers. I'm not even kidding.
It sucks, man.
It was so bad. I don't know if I've ever told you this one, Matt. Maybe I did when we were in Vegas, but I was DJing a wedding from a friend of mine's, my cousin's friend, basically. And they were there, and I was talking to him, and he said something about having CBS All Access. And I said, "Oh, have you seen the new Star Trek show?" Knowing he was a classic Star Trek fan. Not so much beyond the first original series, but I know he was a big TOS fan. I said, "Oh, have you watched the new Star Trek?" He's like, "Oh, there's a new Star Trek?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's on CBS All Access." Like, they haven't advertised it or nothing on there. He's like, "No, I didn't even know it was on there." He's like, "But have you seen this other new show that Family Guy does, the Orville or whatever it's called?"
It's good.
Those are pretty much his exact words. He jumped from that to that. So I was like, well, obviously the Orville's making a much bigger penetration than Star Trek Discovery is, because this guy had Star Trek Discovery for like however long it was. He said, like, so I was like, and he never even heard of it.
Although we'll see how well the Orville survives on Hulu instead of the cable or the basic cable networks.
Yeah, what?
That's fine because Rob, didn't it do really well in the whatever they call them numbers?
What, the Nielsen's?
Yeah, but when they would bring in the streaming numbers, wasn't
+7?
Yeah, +7. Yeah, and wasn't the Hulu numbers and shit like that for the Orville as big as the viewers on?
Yeah,
because like they would get 4 million viewers generally on when they were live, and then on rewatches they would get like another 4 to 8 million. It seemed like.
Wow. Yeah. Hey, Orville is on Fox, right?
Yep. Well, it's gonna be on
more. Fatal J got a theory in his head. How the freak is The Simpsons still on there? Is it only like 2 people watching that show?
I think. Did you say this once? Like The Simpsons is just one of those things that people. It's just been there for so long that.
The hard to split.
Well, no, it's just that there's just this hardcore base that just always there, and there's really nothing else on. I think at that time. And...
Like I would love to see their DVD sales of last year.
Their DVD sales have not been the greatest, but they're real. It's funny you mentioned that
They
because
stopped releasing box sets for a while.
But they are releasing now the first 20 seasons in one big huge box set and 1,000 limited boxes.
Yeah, I need that.
$500.
I need that because I'm collecting them until then they stopped making them.
See, here's my problem with it is they upgraded them all to HD. They need to release them in fucking Blu-ray. That's my pisser of it. Because like Rob, I don't know if you've watched them yet. I sent Rob a copy and I got one of the Jetsons. Fucking show looks beautiful on Blu-ray.
The Jetsons?
HD, yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome, man. Hey, but they told me like characters like Apu is not on The Simpsons anymore. Is that true?
No, that's not true.
Oh, okay. Well, then if he's still on the show, thank you. Come again.
I don't know if he talked in the last 2 seasons, but he's still there. Yeah.
Who let the dogs out?
I did.
Oh wow! Check it out, Tom. We have another update from regarding the GoFundMe. So the ball. Yes, that's right. The ball is rolling. There's a bunch of people have stepped up to the plate to help our buddy and us. The current total stands at 782.
Wow, coming through like champs, guys. We got to go faster than that, though. I know this is later in the day, so hopefully we can keep that up and keep it going more because we got 48 hours to pull in 5K to get this thing going. So let's do it, folks.
Let's do it. The Phantom Menace is known as very generous, very helpful, very, very sympathetic, very handsome bunch. And butter them up any way I can.
You guys do this kind of thing before. Hey, Mary. She's in the chat.
What's up, Mary? Tom, you bring this nostalgia back in my mind, and it just really messed me up because remember the Jetsons, the son with the green hat?
Mm-hmm. Elroy.
Why did Elroy look like Bam Bam from the Flintstones?
Because they had probably the same guy designing them. And really, the Jetsons is just the Flintstones in the future. Let's face it.
I always thought the Jetsons was more the Dick Van Dyke Show.
Well, yeah, it was based on the Dick Van Dyke Show, and then the Flintstones was based on the Honeymooners.
Yeah.
And then, what's the Jetson dad name? I can't believe I forgot his name.
George Jetson.
George Boss looked like Fred Boss from the Flintstones.
Not quite.
There were two Mr. Slates. There was
another Mr. Slate.
Yeah, there were two.
I remember the taller.
And then when you watch the Flintstones, when I was a little kid, I always got mad at Dino. Dino, how the freak can you lock out Fred out of his own house? That's messed up, man.
Oh, my dad's done that to me a couple times. So don't say it can't happen.
And then I always thought this. Okay, Fred, you don't have any windows, bro. Just jump inside the house. It's like a big hole right there.
Wilma!
And they knew they heard those knocks. Wilma, you didn't want him back in.
We're going to rob a bank. Oh, about that, Fred.
And that little green guy that was on Fred Flintstone's shoulder?
Oh, the Great Gazoo or whatever.
The Great Gazoo. You messing with Fred, man. Fred was losing his mind. Couldn't nobody see the Great Gazoo except him.
Because he's on acid. I did way too much acid. Now I'm seeing little green men. Well, that's pretty fucked up, Fred.
And don't let me start on Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Doobie.
Oh, that's most definitely. They knew exactly what they were doing. Like, if anybody can find James Gunn's original script for Scooby-Doo, there is a buttload of pot and sex jokes in that. Yeah.
I think Kevin Smith touched on that too. I forgot which movie.
Yeah, well, he did Jane and Silent Bob. Yeah, Strike Back. Speaking of, I'm going to see Jane and Silent Bob Reboot next week.
I am too.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
That looks like it's going to be purely fun. Not much thinking into it. And the thing about Fatal J, I love not thinking. It's fun.
I agree with you. Not thinking is great. I just can't wait to see like all the digs at Zack Snyderverse and modern comics. Basically, Kevin Smith has come out and said that the reboot is the exact same movie as Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. It's the exact same movie.
Yeah, I assume the daughter just replaces what's her face, and yeah, it looks funny as shit though.
It does look pretty good.
Oh, did you hear Clerks 3 is finally going to happen?
Yeah, I heard the rumor. Seems like Kevin Smith is learning his lesson and going back to all of his old successful stuff.
Well, he confirmed it actually, and because what held it up before, we just covered this the other night, was Jeff Anderson, of course, and Kevin said that the original script he had written was before his heart attack, and he wanted, and he even said it in his book, he was ready to retire, he was going to end his career. The Clerks 3 that he had written originally was more about like death and facing your immortality, because the original script, from what I know, was about Jeff Anderson being all depressed because Dante's got a daughter and a family now, and he doesn't even have a girlfriend or whatever, so it's about him meeting a girlfriend and all this other shit because he's all worried about dying and not having a kid and shit. And then after his heart attack, he rewrote it and took it to Jeff, and it's a whole different kind of movie. And basically this plot, now you obviously didn't hear the synopsis, is after having a massive heart attack, Randall decides he wants to do something with his life. So since he's been working in a video store for the last 40 years, he says it's about time he makes his own movie. So it's the movie about them making Clerks, basically.
That's funny.
It's very meta.
I'm on board. I love it. So, hopefully it'll be next year. I think it's going to be out. Hopefully, so.
You know what was a sick Kevin Smith movie that I enjoyed?
Oh, yeah, we got Shenanigans in 4 minutes. Yeah, Dogma's like my favorite one of his still. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should probably wrap this up, Rob. We got Shenanigans coming up here in a few minutes. So head on over to Mary's channel after we wrap up here for Shenanigans.
Hi, Mary.
Let's go around the bend real quick. Let's start with Matthew. Why don't you plug yourself?
You can find me on Twitter at Matthew Kadish, and you can check out my YouTube channel where we talk about movie news and stuff like that at www.kadishvideo.com. And that's pretty much. Oh, and if you want to go to Amazon.com, check out my books, Earthman Jack, over there too.
All right. Fatal J, the man, the myth, the legend. Tell them where they can find you.
My channel is subscribe and make sure you Fatal J. Hold on, what?
What?
Okay, start thinking again. You need to turn on your brain.
Yeah. I keep that though. Thank you.
He always comes up with a new one every damn time. Mecha, the Mecha of randomness, the internet harpy.
I'm Mecha Random 42. I'm gonna hop on Friday the 13th with some old friends from YouTube from way back before I was doing this stuff. So yeah, I'm hopping on that. So
Rob,
what about it? What about it?
Take us out.
All right, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Thank you. Remember the hashtag it? Give a fuck, give a buck. That's thank you, Fatal J. Thank you, Matt Kadish. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Mecha. Thank you, all of you good-looking people in the chat. You like what we do? Like, subscribe, click the bell icon here. Like, subscribe, click the bell in the main channel. Yes, do all that good stuff. Jay, your arm is getting tired.
Start the music, Rob.
All right, everybody. We'll check you out in a few minutes on Shenanigans. We'll catch you.
How dare you talk to me that way, you third-rate tart?
Do I have the finger?